Hey guys, this is Rise, bringing you a video in the year 2020. It's been a while. Definitely a couple years. But with everything going on in the world, I thought I would do something that still brings me some happiness and joy, which is watching Brood War and hopefully bringing some new names and streamers to any of you who are watching who are still interested in it. So I'm looking to do a streamer spotlight series, which is a little bit of a tongue twister. And we're going to start off with a guy named Aegyo. He's our first streamer spotlight. Aegyo is a Twitch streamer from Canada. He's actually Korean and lives in Canada. A rank Zerg player on the old IC Cup or Fish servers. And watching him recently, he's still A rank in the BNet servers. So looks like we're going to be watching a ZvP on Destination, and I'm happy to bring this one to you because Destination is a fun map. So starting up here in the top left of Destination, we've got Aegyo, our Zerg player, and in the bottom right, we've got Soul Hillbilly, which is a fascinating name. Quite the juxtaposition of anyone who's been to Seoul would probably know. I haven't actually been there, but from all the pictures and videos I've seen, there's not too many hillbillies living there. I guess it'd be equivalent to a New York City hillbilly. So we're playing on Destination. I'll show you a quick overview of the map. We're going to get fancy here, and hopefully these effects work out okay. Destination, 1 versus 1 map. What does that mean? That means you know where your opponent is immediately. And we're starting off with 2 main positions with a nice, pretty well, easy to defend natural expansion. 2 ramps going into it, or not ramps, but bridges that are fairly tight. You can only fit a couple units across them at a time. There's a mineral only that is blocked, and I'll turn the map off here to show you some of this. That's blocked by a mineral patch, which makes it difficult to easily take that back one. So you'll often see the players going for that side one first. Well, either side, actually. There's a couple of sides that they may opt to take first. And we're seeing already, if we get back to the game, that Aegyo is actually taking a far expansion to begin. He may have had this base over here blocked. Here's the back one that is hard to get to, the mineral only, which is currently hidden. And another easy to take base early on, at least. That Aegyo has opted again to take this far one here. What we're seeing from the Protoss right now, pretty standard forge fast expand. It looked like he got his forge before the Nexus, which is safer. Again, on a map where you know where your opponent is, risk of a 9 pool or faster, or over pool even. Probably smart move to get the forge. But one thing about Destination is this area is super wide to defend. You have to block off so much area to protect it, because the Lings will run behind this mineral patch and do a run by up the ramp here, which will be super detrimental to your build. And we do see Aegyo is taking his second expansion already. Now it is natural, which is pretty normal to see. We've got some Lings out on the map, and they are trying to chase down that probe scout, who looks like he's going to be getting out of there. Soul Hillbilly knows that it's time to exit the premises. It appears to be doing so, although he will be checking for that third base before he leaves, which is important information. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's going to maybe check for that 4th base. Not that the 4th base would be taken this quickly, but nope, he's going to head back and try to keep that probe alive. We do have that 1 cannon out, which has a really nice arc of range here, because this is all blocked off, and it's going to hit Lings that come anywhere over here. And with the Zealot to block, it'll be pretty safe. So he'll block pretty much everything, except he won't be able to reach this if this assimilator, if the Lings decide to try to tack that one down. And he may even be able to bite the ankles of this probe over here if he's hidden in this corner. But I think that cannon will reach right to about here, keeping the assimilator, again, the only open attack target here. Looks like Ling's still trying to take out this probe, who's being a harassing son of a. And Hydra is now out, so we've got some harassment going on here with the Zealot chasing down some drones, and it looks like he got 1 kill. Certainly, that is a good start for that Zealot, now being chased down by some Lings. Let's check out the Hydralisk Den to see what he's got going on. He's going for the range upgrade first, which is pretty typical. Solid choice. Nice spot for that Zealot, only being able to take 2 hits. Up. He's got the surround on him now, and taken out by those Lings. Looks like we're up to 3 cannons here and a 4th. He knows that there are Hydras, and Hydras are terrifying with no real cannon defense. So he's going up to 5 cannons. 4 or 5 is pretty typical. It looks like he's considering a 6th here. And I don't see any more Zealots in the area looking to do any more harassment. In the meantime, Aegyo has taken his 4th base, which is very well protected and tucked back there behind this 3rd base. Normally, typically you'll see a sunken and another hatchery over here to block this up and clog it up pretty good, but right now it looks like Aegyo is planning on going on the offensive. We do have a Corsair out on the field, getting some scouting information and his first Overlord. He'll certainly be looking to expand that kill count by 1, but I don't think Aegyo is going to let that happen. We are seeing the 5th hatchery go down. It's worth checking to see if that lair is going yet. It is. He's just started lair, so we'll call that one 5 hatch before lair. Nothing else over here yet, though. We do have a couple of Corsairs out on the map, taking down some Overlords. He's starting to take some good chip damage, but probably a worthwhile trade here as he has not lost one yet. See if Aegyo decides to focus on that other one. Oh, 2 Overlords go down, and it looks like no Corsairs are going to go down, and a couple more Overlords are now at risk with the 3rd Corsair out. Let's see if he's still building more. Nope, he has stopped building. I guess I could take that panel off for now. And it looks like he's been chased away by the Hydralisk. So nicely done there. That hatchery is now going down that we were talking about. And I am hitting the wrong buttons here. There it is. Make sure that's a hatchery. It's hard to tell when it's in the small morphing form. But once it gets to that medium size, it's usually pretty obvious what you got going there. More Hydralisk coming out from the hatcheries here. He is up to 6 hatcheries now. That lair is complete. And he is getting Overlord speed, which is a good response from these Corsairs. Enough Hydralisks are out on the map now where I don't think he's going to have to worry about those Corsairs for too much longer. And it looks like he may have even lost one. But that's okay, because the DTs are out, and they're going to chase down those Hydras pretty quick. Unfortunately, the Corsairs actually baited the Hydras back towards his base. So the DTs ended up not really being able to catch any Hydras out. And with the number of Overlords that we've got here, he's not getting anywhere without a shuttle. Looks like Corsair's continuing to scout out the area to see if there is any openings over here or free Overlords. And there is an opening if you had a shuttle. Let's check out the Protoss base here and see if that's something that he's thinking about. Right now we've got, it would help if I had this up. It is a robotics facility, so he's putting one down. I'm sure for observers and maybe a shuttle here so he can get a nice DT drop going on. So while we're waiting for some action going on here, maybe talk a little bit more about Aegyo. He is streaming pretty regularly. I've been watching him the last few weeks. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and does a nice job explaining what he's doing and why, what type of build he's doing, and talking through some timings and what benefit it has to do whatever it is he's doing. So if you're looking to learn Zerg, definitely, I mean, you're talking about an A-rank player. When I was watching him last night, I think he finished at about 2100 for the night and working towards S-rank. He claims that his best matchup is PVT and PVZ. I'm sorry, ZvP and ZvT. ZvZ is not his strength, but everyone I've watched, he wins. So I'm not sure if that's a true statement or he's just being humble here or not. A couple of DTs out, and they look to be chasing a specific Hydra and finally giving up and going after whatever they can hit. Aegyo is trying to see if there's any additional bases, but it looks like these DTs may push him back for the short term until the Overlords, who now have speed, make it to the battlefield. And that's going to be really hard to break here. A lot of Zealots. We've got some Templar out on the field, and they've got plenty of energy for 1 to 2 storms here in the near future. So Aegyo very smartly going to see if there's another base here. Quick check is going to tell him no. He's going up against 2 base Protoss with 5 gateways. And it looks like we got an upgrade going here for Goon range. Zealots are moving out. Overlords are pretty well exposed here, but with nothing that can shoot up right now outside of the Corsairs, not super high risk. And we're going to see some Hydras versus Speed Zealots. And he's going to have to be on point with this micro on the Hydras. They clump up pretty naturally here. And oh, this is going to be a juicy storm if he can hit it. But he can't because Brood War units are still dumb in the year 2020, and they get caught on things as always. Lurkers are out on the field officially. See if you can get them burrowed in time. Morphing into some eggs here, which will be good to resist the Zealot attacks. But a couple of storms will take those eggs out. And we've got Zealots in the base, right on top of the Hydras. And they're in a pretty good position here. The Hydras are unable to really jump in against or defend against this easily. So he's going to lose all of these drones and hope for these lurkers to pop pretty quick here. He's got to burrow them. This will be the saving move here. And it looks like he's going to be able to... Oh, that storm, though. It's going to catch a lot of lurkers. And, oh, there was a chance for the Zealots to get that lurker. And with what appears to be... Yeah, he was down to 1 HP there. He's going to make it to another battle. But that Templar no longer a threat here as long as he cleans that up. It looks like this base is going to be safe. And if we check out the worker count, pretty low on drones compared to the Protoss, 25 to 45. In the meantime, there were some Zealots that ran to the top base. It looks like he cleared out what he had going on up there as well. But these are going to be cleaned up. If I can figure out which... There it is. I was going to see if there was still some Templar hiding up there, but it was a little bit hard to see. And the Overlord spots the third base going down for the Protoss. So pretty solid move by the Protoss. He got a lot of drone kills. And now it looks like he's going to go back and rebuild the army a little bit. He is under 100 supply again. And this is now transitioning to Dragoons, although tough for those Dragoons to get out of this base. So you might want to take out a cannon or a pylon or 2. It looks like he's taken out a very random cannon. I'm not sure what that one was slowing down, but hey, maybe it was in the way for something and we just didn't catch it. Aegyo, in the meantime, is still re-droning up, I believe. If we go back to what he's building, yeah, he's got some drones coming out here. And he's back up to 41 drones. So the Protoss is giving him a little bit of a reprieve. There was a shuttle. We just missed it. I don't think there was an actual... There was a drop. Wow, we're going to have to rewind here. But this is where a lot of the drones were taken out while we were preoccupied, as was Eggy. It looks like he lost quite a few and almost lost his spawning pool, but some Hydras popping out must have saved the day. In the meantime, we do have a drop for the Zerg player. Aegyo is taking out some probes in the back here and trying to figure out if he can clear out this entire mineral line. He's caught in a storm, not the best storm, and it looks like those Hydras are going to be airlifted out for a fight for another day and possibly bounce back to the other base over here. Not sure what his plan is. It looks like he is going to drop down, but Zealots there are ready to receive and take those out pretty quickly. But Aegyo does have one important thing here, which is map control. Zealots and the Protoss in general are pretty much stuck on their base, and he is going to go for a full attack against these cannons that are completely naked. And cannons are great when you've got some Zealots in front, and he targets the pylon. I like it. Now when those Zealots do reach him, he doesn't have to worry about deciding if he's going to attack the cannons or the Zealots. And he's going to be able to take that out, and this is a pretty good defense, actually, being on this bridge over here as he takes out the Nexus. And he's going to get some free probes, bringing the Protoss probe count down to 44. Thankfully, this Forge is not building anything. That's going to be taken out quite quickly. And Protoss has a big decision to make. Does he try to clear this out, lock him down, or maybe go straight for the Zerg base? Aegyo choosing to move back and bring him into his cavern of death, or island of death, or I don't know what you call this little peninsula. But this is going to get cleaned up by the Protoss. It's a pretty decent Protoss army with 3 observers to make sure that any snipes on the observer, still allow him to take everything out without too much of an issue. Aegyo still on these 4 bases here. Looks like he's sticking to the Hydras. Let's see, what is his upgrades? What are his upgrades here? He's 1-1. The Protoss, let's see what he's at. He's at +2 attack, so beautiful upgrades for the Protoss. Aegyo is going to want to hit that 2-2 in the not too distant future. Got to be careful with the placement of these lurkers, of course. You keep a little bit too close, and a storm can hit 2 of them right there. Although I guess he's got the benefit of taking out the one observer there as a consolation prize for Aegyo. And I think he's going to be able to clean this up without too much of an issue as the new lurker comes in, and he's got four on the ramp total. 3, yep, 4 on the ramp. And snipes the observers with some Scourge. I love that play. That's going to force the Protoss back. And if we take a quick look at supplies, they're even, which is a good story for the Zerg right now. Looks like we've got another dropship getting loaded up, this time with some High Templar. I would imagine he's going to try to storm over here, but we'll see where he decides to take that. Aegyo does see that the 4th base spotted by the Overlord takes them out with some guerrilla tactics from these Zerglings, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to take it out fully. He does try to focus it down, and he's going to have to wait till these Protoss units back off to get another shot at that. So while we wait for some build-up here, if you want to check out Aegyo, you can find him on twitch.tv. I'll put the link down in the video below. A couple of fun facts about Aegyo. His favorite food. He likes steak with a little bit of salt and pepper. Cool. Who doesn't like steak? Vegans, that's who. And probably vegetarians. And possibly other people. But at least those groups that I can think of. He does play a lot right now. He would say he ranks as a high A, low S. Generally, by the end of the season, it sounds like he tends to hit S. And I hope he does this season. We've got another attack here, though, going on. Zerglings are trying to get behind the goons, which is a good choice. And Hydras are getting caught in, a wide amount of storms. That was like casting a fish net over there. Not quite Jangbi level, but they were pretty good. But I think Aegyo is going to continue to commit here. Now that the storms are potentially exhausted, they are not. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's painful for a Zerg player to watch those 4 lurkers pop. They were a little bit too close. Again, we're talking about that for the storms. Got to try to keep them as spread as possible, but that does require quite a bit of APM. Looks like Protoss is going to be able to clean this up. There's a little bit of Zerg reinforcement with them being mostly Zerglings, though. And now we've got an Archon morphing. I think Aegyo is going to make the right move and back off from this attack. And the Protoss is getting this 4th base up and running. So definitely a pretty good position for the Protoss player. He's back in that 120 range supply. And now that he's got some Storm, some good upgrades on his units, Aegyo should be catching up at this point. He does have the +2 attack, but we'd love to see that armor upgrade as well pretty shortly here. It looks like he's switching to melee, though. I like that move. Melee, and there's the Carapace. Carapace being a little bit slightly delayed compared to the attack, which eventually that'll help him deal with the +2 attack that we've got going on from the Protoss. And this base is completely undefended. It looks like he's going to be able to snipe the Nexus. There is nothing that's going to catch this by the time he takes it out. The cannons are not going to be able to stop this, and he's going to try to take out the cannons real quickly as well. Just some more money for the Protoss player to waste and rebuild with. And is he going after the next base? It looks like he may be. Is he going after probes, or is he going to go? He's going to go after the probes. I like that. That's a smart move. Although now that the Zealots are on top of him, I think this is going to get cleaned up real quick. He's not going to get that cannon either. Not with 26 hit points on that Hydra, although it did a little bit of damage. And but overall, very successful attack for Aegyo. Taking out that base was a pretty big deal. Protoss is he's not poor quite yet, but he is mined out at his main, and he's mining out. All right, so he is kind of poor right now. Actually, he's mining out in this natural expansion. Aegyo, on the other hand, quite a ways to go on his main. It looks like he's got a few patches that are on the way. And we've got a big move out here from the Protoss army, and he's going for the jugular, hitting this very densely populated, mineral-wise anyway, 4th base. And Aegyo has a 5th base as well that just got completed with some lurkers on the high ground. Protoss is going in. He's got Zealots on the front line, but all his units are so dumb and still stuck in the back. But the Protoss army is a scary one. That's a lot of storms he's got, and he's going after the eggs this time of Aegyo. And it's not. It only takes a couple storms to take those out, and they just disappear. They're deleted off of the map. I think I just spit on the webcam. And I think Aegyo, though, is going to be able to clean this up as the storms are about out. Not before losing a solid amount of units, but Soul Hillbilly, he's down to 13 probes. This base is being taken out in the same time, and now I think this game is as good as wrapped up for Aegyo. Nicely played, and Soul Hillbilly, I don't think he GG'd. I think he just left the game. Very nicely done by Aegyo. That was a fun game to watch. Big Zerg is fun Zerg, in my opinion, and he did a nice job. One thing that I love to watch about Aegyo is, if you, we'd have to go back to the beginning of the replay to check it out, but he tends to start at very low APM in the game. He's not a spammer, which is kind of fun. But if you watch where he was at the end of the game, he's in the 200, 300 range. He can get up there when he needs to. So that's just something that I noticed that's a little bit different with him compared to your typical spammers that are just constantly bashing on the keyboard, myself included, trying to keep that APM level up. He doesn't play that game. He just plays as needed, and if he needs to spice it up and get warm, he will. So hopefully you guys like that. That's his ZvP. I'll probably do a ZvT game and possibly a ZvZ if he sent me those as well. Just if you're interested in checking him out, I've noticed that he tends to stream in the if I'm EST time zone, so GMT -5. Tends to be streaming at the 6-7 p.m. time frame, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later. He said he streams whenever he's able to, but that's what I've been able to catch lately. And check him out. Click on the link, give him a follow, tell him Rai sent you, and hopefully you'll enjoy some of his games. So this will be the first of probably 3 or 4 games that we show or showcase of Aegyo. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below and tell your friends. Brood War is back. It's 2020, baby. We got remastered, and it is pretty beautiful. All right. Rise signing out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next game. Take care.